to infinity and beyond.
What's up, everyone? It's Roger and James here from DisKingdom.com. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Frank West, or Dead Rising, which is part of the upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. He's been a confirmed character. He's also been in previous ones. However, as part of this whole series of the road to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, we're looking at these characters because for some of us, including me for this particular character, knew nothing about him. He's completely just like, who is this guy? I don't know what he is, what it is. So we're going to be looking at each game as we go along. Now, Frank West is... Dead Rising is a zombie game where you're like... And he's the main character you play, and you're basically just killing zombies. Now, I'm going to be honest, I played Dead Rising 3, and that'll be the video that you will see some gameplay. I will be honest, this is it's pretty violent. It's not quite what I was expecting when I started playing it. Kind of feels a bit like playing like Walking Dead. That kind of thing of it. Yeah.
Walking Dead with a sense of humor.
Yeah. I've only watched the pilot of that show, so I'm kind of very much in the early stage of that one.
I've only watched the first episode of that show as well, but I have to ask, what were you expecting out of a game where you were trapped in the first game where you're trapped in a mall with zombies and your entire purpose is to cobble together weapons to kill them wholesale?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I went into this knowing it was called Dead Rising. That was all, and Frank wasn't it.
Okay.
I didn't do any... I didn't have a clue. I just I need to find out who this Frank West guy is. I purchased a month. I've got into the Xbox Game Pass, and because Dead Rising 3 was in there, and I thought, well, I'm going to try it. You know, I can joke. Frank West is not even in that game.
I was actually going to point that out. It's like you're aware that he's not in 3.
No, he is available as DLC for the multiplayer. But I figured it was enough of a kind of go. Okay, well, I can at least kind of get a little bit of an understanding of what this game is from at least one of the games. So I have played at least an hour of Dead Rising 3. I will be honest. The minute I finished recording, I did delete it. It's not my kind of game. I'm not very good on the horror. I don't enjoy horror movies.
I'd be hard pressed to call this horror. I mean,
it was pretty violent. There were some bits where in the dark, and they were jumping out, and they were like, "Okay, this wasn't quite what I was expecting." But yeah,
I'm not saying it's not violent.
No,
yeah, it's definitely violent.
And you're just whacking monsters over the head with like a garbage can, and I fell into this pit full of like 25 zombies, and I'm the first bit of the thing. I can't even see what I'm doing. It was that dark. If you want to, you might see me suddenly. There will be a thing where I might have flashed forward a little bit because it was so dark I couldn't even see what was going on. Because there with this little flashlight. It's not my kind of game. I'll be honest. I don't really that whole zombie kind of apocalypse. In this massive airplane, and you're just running and just beating things up, and people are being attacked. I think in some ways it's better than maybe like the movies because you're actually at least interacting and you're doing stuff. So it definitely feels like that kind of interactive zombie movie.
Yeah, I mean, the first game was actually in a mall, so it's very much Night of the Living Dead kind of stuff, or those old classic zombie movies, etc. But it's interesting that he's a character in Marvel vs. Capcom because in these games, at least the ones he's in, he has virtually no personality outside of being a photojournalist.
Yeah.
I mean, his entire point in being in these games is to kill as many zombies as possible. Yeah. There's a bit of a story about why there are zombies, etc., etc. I think it involves some, like, bumblebees or something like that.
Yeah, there was a little bee that flew off or something like that.
Yeah, and in the first game, I do remember, like, there was a bee, and I killed the bee, and all the zombies around it just dropped dead as a result, too. Yeah. So there's something going on there. Obviously, I've not played much more of it than you have. I played maybe 2 or 3 hours of the first game, and I played through Off the Record, which was a free expansion for Dead Rising 2. It was released as a standalone game. Sorry, it's not free, but it was released for free as part of Xbox Live Gold or something like that. It was only about an hour or two long, so I completed through the entire thing. All of the games are functionally the same. I think they changed some stuff up for the most recent one, which was Dead Rising 4, but neither of us have played that, so I can't speak to it. The
and
entire...
I even saw that Dead Rising 5 was leaked or something recently as well. So it's definitely a big franchise.
It is a big Xbox franchise. It's one of the few franchises that the Xbox has left. I think some of them have gone multi-platform, including maybe more recent ones. I know they've been on the PC as well, but I'm not sure if, like, say, Dead Rising 4... Yeah, Dead Rising 4 was only on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, if I... saying this as...
It was on the Wii. And it was on there was a mobile phone version, and there was a remastered one.
Yeah, some of these spin-off titles, obviously. As a person who prefers the Xbox console experience to other consoles, I have to say that if I had to choose between this and Uncharted or Last of Us or something, it's not really a competition. And Dead Rising's not winning that competition.
Yeah, having just literally completed Uncharted 4 this week, they jumped into this, and the controls seemed very, very clunky. This was kind of the good thing what we said about, like, with this Gamer Pass, of being able to get in and try them, because my prime reason for getting Game Pass was to play these Capcom games, because there's quite a lot in there. There's Ghosts and Ghouls, there's Resident Evil, and it's kind of quite interesting of, like, I do feel like now of, like, playing that game a little bit, even though Frank West wasn't in it. It's that thing of, like, instantly then I've just kind of gone, okay, I know what this is now. I can understand why you've included him, because he's a big franchise, you're representing Capcom, you've not really got a lot of big hitters. But man, is he underpowered. I mean, but you could put him in there with Hawkeye, and Hawkeye would be more powerful.
Well, and this is kind of where I'm kind of confused how he's going to be in Marvel vs. Capcom, is the main thing about both him and the heroes of the games that he's not the leader of is they don't really matter that much. The whole premise of the game is to build crazy weapons to mow down as many zombies as possible, you know.
Stick sledgehammer with a chainsaw, right? And I'm like... It's exactly. Hitting him over the head with an orange juice carton. That was a little bit hard. 10 hits it took me to take out a zombie with an orange carton.
Well, I mean, in fairness.
It was a black bag, and they're like whacking him in the head with a black bag, a garbage can. I'm like, oh, I need some more weapons. It's like, it's a till, and threw a till at somebody. It was fun. I can at least understand it. It's just not my... I don't like that genre, I think, of entertainment. And... it's probably why I wasn't really... It was like, okay, this just feels like I said, like Walking Dead, that kind of movie kind of idea of this. I mean, it's pretty impressive when you suddenly, standing on top of a car and you've got to get to the other end, and there's just a horde. I mean, when I got in this car and was just ploughing through them, I was like, okay, this is like...
It's different.
It's like, start just going, oh, I can do some wheel spins and take out more of it.
See, I would honestly rather play... say the Dynasty Warrior games or Hyrule Warriors or something like that, because if you take away the blood, if you take away the zombies, that's functionally what this game is. It's a Dynasty Warriors style game where it's you versus thousands of enemies, and you are 1,000 times more effective at combat than they are. Yeah. Just straight up, you're going to try and kill as many of them as possible in as creative a way as possible. You're going to attach chainsaws to the end of a garden rake, and then you're going to get on a motorcycle and you're going to plop it down on the crossbar, and then you're just going to drive through hordes of zombies, murdering them with a chainsaw on the end of a rake on a motorcycle. Yeah. And that's the point of the game.
Yeah.
How does that translate into Marvel vs. Capcom, though? I assume he's just going to have a lot of different weapons that slowly break throughout the fight. I think that would be hilarious if he became less effective the longer the fight went on because all his weapons are breaking.
Yeah, I think this is where you have to throw the entire... I mean, you see it in all of the fighting games where, Hawkeye versus the Hulk or anything like that, and you win.
Hey, in the comics, Hawkeye killed the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose he's probably he's very able to outsmart them with his weapons and stuff. But it's that kind of thing. I think of that overpowering human kind of thing. If you got four in there against a generic guy in a shopping mall, it's definitely interesting.
It's one of those things where, Injustice, the DC version of this game, of course, they came up with like a magical pill that the characters took. It was like magically made them able to take punches from Superman when he's not holding back, which, all right, fine, suspend the disbelief. But there are definitely cases where you're just like, these two guys, that Thor doesn't even have to think about this fight.
No.
You're just dead.
Yeah.
Period.
No, but it's still thinking now, going, okay, having played this Dead Rising game, I can come. And this is what we said. This is the whole point of this this series, was about not only telling to you that maybe have never seen these ones of what this stuff is about, but also it gives us an understanding, because if we're coming into a game like Marvel vs. Capcom and we do not know some of these characters, it's a little bit like, okay, so like Lego Marvel, they come up with some random comic book character from 1972 and one issue that only turned up for one clip thing, which they do. It's a bit like, okay, that's fine, whatever. I don't need to worry too much about it. But Marvel, there's an entire side of the roster which a third of it I just did not have a clue. There's so many that I just don't know about. And it felt a little bit like this is what we needed. And this is a prime example of I've played a game, hour plus of a game, and gone, okay, I know what this is now. I know what this series is. It's not for me. I'm not gonna be continuing on and go, oh, well, I have to complete Dead Rising 3 now. No, but I'm like, okay, I know what this guy represents now.
Now, see, what I would prefer for a game or an experience, rather than having him on the Marvel vs. Capcom roster, would probably be just sit him down with Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine from the Resident Evil series, and have them compare notes on how to kill zombies.
Yeah,
I think that would entertain me for probably a good half hour. Just them comparing notes.
Mm. But no, it's definitely interesting. But it's kind of given us I feel like a good way going forward on the Dead Rising. So I'm thinking Ghosts and Ghouls next week. So that'll be on next week.
Feeling masochistic, I see.
Yes.
All right. Well,
yes, that'll be a good one.
I think I'm going to call in sick next week.
On that note, guys, let us know, what do you guys think of Dead Rising? Do you enjoy the series? Did you have no clue what it was? Let us know in the comments below. As per usual, check us out over at DisKingdom.com, where you can find us on YouTube and audio and things. So hit those subscribe button, the like buttons as well. James, where can they find you?
Find me heroiclegacy.com.
And on that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to enter our giveaway. We're giving away a $20 gift certificate, and we shall see you guys soon. Laters.